You ready?
Sure.
Okay. Wait, glasses off.
That glare.
Huh?
That glare.
Yeah, it doesn't help. Especially when I got scratches on my lenses.
They're a little old.
Yeah, they're old and I'm cheap. But welcome to the Hot Seat. We appreciate all you guys watching, listening, tuning in to another installment. We want to give a special shout out to the Village. You guys are a strong supporter, and we appreciate all the views, the liking that we're getting on Facebook.
Thank you.
A lot of the reactions, in addition to the YouTube as well. So we always want to ask you to consistently like, share, and comment because we love the engagement and the feedback that we do receive. So without further ado, the hot seat is about to get hot.
We would like to introduce you all to the Rosses. Yay!
Hello.
We have Adam and Jordan here, and they are our guests for this episode.
Yes.
So,
We have the dude, where's my remote? And then we want the burritos consistently wrapped at all times.
everything inside.
Inside. That's a long story.
We don't want anything loose, anything falling out.
That is one of my favorites.
First
Yeah.
impression. Glad y'all stuck around. I wasn't sure.
It's okay.
I'm sure that waitress.
She was
But in
like,
your
so you want a
defense-
burrito?
In your defense, they literally changed the menu though.
Oh, they did?
To
Oh, you
where
get
it
back?
makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. See,
Nuh-uh.
it was what you
They
just
did.
I
did.
could not.
See?
You inspired change.
I'm
Adam.
pretty sure I wasn't the only one questioning their burrito status.
Yes, indeed. But what we want to do, we are about the blending two different ideas, two different families, two different races, whatever it may be. It's all about blending things together when you're in a marriage. So what we want to hear from you guys is your little history about how you guys came together.
How that worked out.
Yeah. Well, should I start or?
Take it away.
Well, I'll start how we met since I initiated it. So in college, so we went to Dixie State University in St. George, Utah, and
Utah, what?
I feel the excitement.
So to take it all the way back to the beginning, so my first year, I was a junior college transfer. So my junior year, I was walking out of a building and I was texting and walking at the same time, and there were stairs, and I kind of like tripped. I was going up the stairs. I like tripped up the stairs. You lift your foot all the way up. Just I didn't like fall or anything like that. My phone, but it was enough to where somebody would say something.
Yeah.
And it was actually her mom. She was like, "Oh, walking and texting can be dangerous," and never thought anything of it. I didn't see that lady again until the next year, and during that time, so it's not a lot of people, at the time, it wasn't a lot of minorities on campus, so
The blacks.
right,
Got it. Follow you.
yeah. So I only seen Jordan on the soccer field. I never seen her like on campus, So she was like the black girl on the soccer team. So the next year, so I'm at a soccer game, and that same lady that said like walking and texting can be dangerous was at the soccer game too, and she was in the stands, and it was extremely hot outside because it's St. George, Utah, so it's Vegas weather.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's extremely hot. So
Desert.
it was like, I want to say August, right?
We know
Probably
about
like
that.
late August. Yeah. You said
I
what?
said we know about that.
Oh, the
Desert.
desert, right? Exactly. Yeah. So extremely hot, like probably above 100 degrees easily. Oh, September actually. Yeah, because we met the next day. So yeah. So it had to be. Yeah. So September 1st. So on September 1st, I was at a soccer game, and the stands were extremely hot, and that lady, she was there, and she had an umbrella, because of the sun.
Gotcha.
So I was like, I'm going to sit by the lady with the umbrella. So it was me and like 3 of my teammates, and then at the time, it was her mom's boyfriend was there too, and he was a personal trainer, and he starts talking to us, knows we play basketball, and we're like chopping it up, and then her mom, she asked like, oh, which one do you think is my daughter, And there is a lady, her mom is
Side
white.
note.
Right.
Hi, Mom. She's white with red hair.
Right, exactly. So obviously, it's a trick question,
Always.
And she said, like, which one is my daughter? And then there's literally a girl out there, the only one white girl with the red hair,
Naturally.
Oh, yeah. So, of course, we're going to, pick that one. It's like, no, my daughter's number 20. And number 20 was Jordan.
They're like,
right.
You sure?
Are you sure you have the number right?
But it kind of like, at the time, like, we didn't know, but it kind of would make sense because, like, she was there. Her boyfriend at the time was black, so we didn't know. We're like, oh, okay, like, makes sense. So anyway, after that day, Jordan actually, she didn't even play that much that game.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got injured in my defense. Hence why we met. But I got injured.
That was playing.
Someone get injured.
You was on load management.
No, I got injured in the game. I saw it happen.
Yeah. So she got injured in the game, but she didn't play much. So
He said so she didn't play much. She got injured in the game, so she didn't play much. That's what he said. Yeah.
So the next, right. So the next day, so I'm late for class already. So I'm going down the stairs, and then she's coming up the stairs, and she's like moping, like walking like all slow, like looking like sad,
It's just my face, but.
It's your resting face.
So then I think I asked, like, what did I ask? Like, why are you so sad or something?
Like that.
Yeah. I just hit her with something sly, like, I knew what I was doing at the time, I've been out the game for so long that I can't exactly remember what I said, but I knew what I was doing at the time. Exactly, yeah, but for me to remember exactly what I said, I just know that it worked.
That's all that counts.
Right, I set it up perfectly. So I ended up, since I was running late, so I was like, here, take my number down. And she took my number down, and I got out of there because I'm always late for this class anyway. So you lose points, and I didn't want to lose any points because the class was already hard because the teacher was hard. So I got out of there, and then I was like, got to class like, dang, I forgot to get her number, So I've never seen her on campus, so I was like, oh dang, like, I just got to go to another soccer game. But then before practice or after practice, I got a text like, hey, this is Jordan, you gave me your number. So then I was like,
no, I said, here's my number.
oh.
I said, you forgot to get my number. Here it is.
Okay. Something along those lines. All I knew was I got that message. I was like, okay, I'm in there. Like, so the rest was history after that, pretty much, because we hung out that same night, didn't we?
So I was injured, so I didn't get to travel. That's why I was kind of mad sad because my team was leaving that day. But then it worked out because we got to hang out while the team was gone. Like all my friends, I probably would have hung out with them, but they were gone. So I was like, I guess I'll go hang out with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we went to a volleyball game. So I was like, oh, let's go to a volleyball game. College is nice because free activities with the student card.
Right.
Games, that's why I was always, yep,
So that was your first date?
No, the first day volleyball game, yep, with my teammates.
So I gotta ask, what were you paying attention to at the volleyball game?
I was doing homework, actually.
He was on his phone, and I was like, he didn't tell me he was doing homework, and I was like, jeez. He was like, he had like an assignment he had to turn in by like a certain time. He didn't tell me, so my first impression, I was like, how in the world?
No,
he
she was like, oh, he's so cool, he has an iPhone.
Oh, definitely.
He's so studious.
I didn't know he was doing homework, so it was on his phone. I thought he was like texting or doing something else for a while, but then when she turned it in, you were
it was good.
More attentive.
Yeah. And then I got my first red flag. We walked out, because we didn't go to the games together. We met at the game. So we walked out, and I live like right across the street from campus, and she lived not too far actually, just right down the street from campus. And she's like, "Oh, you need a ride home?" And then we're walking out, and her car's like right there. And I saw the way she was parked. So she was all like, usually you can be like kind of close to the line.
Yeah.
She was all over the line. I was like, "No, I'm good. I can walk."
All that space in Utah, you don't have to learn how to like park well.
Also,
There we
you
go.
was diagonal.
Pretty much. Like those cars where you got into a nice car, you can take up 2 parks so nobody park next to you. But her car was,
It wasn't not that
You
bad.
made a cross with the parking line.
It was crooked.
That's okay. Like you
All
said,
right.
you didn't need to learn, so
Right, yeah.
it's fine.
He's biting me now in California. Like 70-point turns.
Gotcha. So how long have you guys been together now?
So we
Now?
met on September 2nd, 2009.
Mm-hmm.
So we've known each other for 10 plus years, and we've been married since 2011 May.
So pretty much
Going on
9 years.
In May will be 9 years. Married.
No,
You said
married 9 years,
2000,
but we
2009?
met. Yeah, so we
Met
met.
2009.
So we
Married
met.
2011 May.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you've known each other for
Mm-hmm. Known each
11
other for
years.
10 years.
11
Going on 11 years, yeah. If you count the times I've seen her on campus,
No.
like soccer games,
The one time in
As
the
a few-
stairwell,
as a
the
few
one
months.
time no.
That's a couple months.
Okay. So like in all relationships, you guys go through like different stages, different phases. So how was it as far as living and getting to know each other on the college campus towards being off campus and into, marriage, living together?
College was cool.
I do that again. That part was fine.
We had a lot of friends. It was like pretty carefree besides like doing homework and sports and stuff like that. But then after getting married and like having to become a full-on adult and like think about someone else, like really think about someone else and have to have other opinions and stuff, I would say it was challenging for the first, especially the first year.
Okay.
Just trying to mesh the two worlds because they're 2 different worlds.
So different how? Like, what were your big different? I'm sure there were a lot of little things. But what were your big differences?
Well, I guess we're doing the hot seat now.
Like, she brought it up. Let's just.
The way we were brought up, as far as like, one of the big things was like cleanliness. I'm like organized dirty.
No. It's not.
Say that again?
Organized dirty. Messy. Not dirty, messy.
I would say the term is an organized mess.
Yeah.
Which is completely understandable. All the smart people do that.
I know where my stuff is.
Yes, exactly.
But he's very, I don't know what's the word. Clean.
I would say I'm not like a neat freak, but I'm neater than what you're used to. Somebody else might say that I'm an organized mess too. So
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. So you're organized, but not meticulous with it.
right, yeah. I just prefer like neatness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that was hard to try and figure out how for him to kind of like relax and for me to like step it up.
Because I knew it was coming because we've talked about it before we even got married. Because when I would go into her room, like it would be like clothes that she had already wore, like literally, like just like took your clothes off and just left them on the side of the bed, like little kids, like you leave your.
That's the dirty clothes hamper.
Right.
But they were the ones that were like, maybe wear it again, maybe not. I'm gonna put them in the middle.
I get it.
You know what?
I get it.
I do the same thing. I did the same thing.
But we talked about that before. It was like, oh, okay, like once we get married, like that's gonna be a little different, you know, and it was different for both of us. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
So how does it work with? I guess one of the big issues that we talked about recently was the bathroom. So how did that work with you guys? Having your own bathroom and now in a situation where you technically have to share the bathroom.
We got into a big fight about the bathroom. Remember that time?
Was it the toilet seat?
No.
I'm giving up on that one.
Hey, you gotta look before you
But
say.
the next time I go in,
It was at the condo, so it was. So we rented a condo, and it was the condo. The bathroom was small, it was an ensuite, and it wasn't a lot of counter space. And with the counter space, it was.
Kids,
They're
gotta
right.
love them.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
I don't know whose kids those are.
Do you remember this though? Vaguely.
I got distracted.
So
Ensuite in
when
the
we were at
condo.
the condo above Pizza Hut on the hill, and it was I was saying like you need to put your flat iron and stuff away, and then like you said like you use it almost every day, and I was like yeah, but I use my clippers, but I put that away, and it like nothing ever changed. So I was like okay. I'm gonna show you. So what I did, I shaved everything, and like you know when you shave, like all the hair falls in the sink.
Yeah.
And then I have like 3 clippers, so I have like a liner, like a closer one that gets really sharp, and then
So a
just the regular
trimmer?
clippers. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I left them all out on the counter, left all my shavings in the sink, and just went to work. She was so mad, but I was like, "This is what it would be like if we both did what you did." But I don't.
Leave hair in the sink.
Huh?
I said you didn't leave
Yeah,
hair in the sink.
you shed hair. You guys shed hair. Sometimes your hair be like stuck on the side of the shower.
But
Yes.
it's not in the sink.
And
Well,
behind the
if
bathroom
you're around
door.
the sink,
But it's not
Behind
in
the
the
bathroom
sink.
door.
Right.
How does that
It's
happen?
not in the sink. Blow dryer, hello.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
but it's still there's hair. Like there's hair around.
But
Yeah,
it's not in the sink where you wash your hands and brush your teeth.
it gets in. I mean, it's around the sink or something.
It's
maybe
around the
it's
sink, in
Yeah,
the sink.
it's not as
On the floor.
Mine was definitely very like. You know, like it was in
Concentrated.
sensitive.
It was like-
Oh yeah. But it wasn't like I didn't like cut my hair or anything like that. Like I
Yeah.
like took off my facial hair and like trimmed my beard a little bit. So it was definitely hair there.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like I cut my hair and just left my afro in the sink.
I brought the sink on the floor. What happened here?
But I don't think that the message she didn't take the message because she was so mad that I was just doing it out of spite. I remember you said that, like you're just trying to spite me, but I was like, yeah, like I'm just giving you an example.
Yeah.
Like this is what it would be like, like an eye for an eye, like so this is the only way you can see, like. But that was the only way I felt like at the time that was the only way I could communicate, like, okay, this is what I'm trying to get across. Like you need to see it to actually know what I'm talking about.
Right.
But
So it wasn't really an eye for an eye thing. It was just to give an example.
right, exactly, yes.
At
Yeah,
that
that's exactly what it
At
was.
that point, it was an eye for an eye for the purpose of giving.
What did you
an
say?
example. It was
I'm
still
gonna
an eye for an eye.
You can't speak for Adam.
I can speak for the situation and how it was described,
No.
and he said, "Yes, I'm doing this to spite you." You
Two
can't.
things, so like to spite you and also to show you like this is what
Right,
it's
that's
like.
what I said. You did an eye for an eye for the purpose of giving an example. It, it had good intentions, just
Yeah.
not the greatest.
Well,
of
terrible
Well,
intentions.
it's not to the point where it's
Intended.
like it's a true eye for an eye because it is down talking or anything like that in a biblical sense. You're not supposed to do that, and that's why I was like Adam. He was just doing it just to give a live example. He wasn't really trying to combat her. And be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the way I communicated at the time.
So another hard communication.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so probably like the cleanliness and then communication we had to figure out, and like different emotional backgrounds that one was really big for us. He's like a wall.
Not a wall.
Yeah. His famous quote is
Happy, sad, mad.
same emotion. Yeah, he's kind of like, I mean, and he says it a lot, like, it is what it is.
Yes.
But it's also very sad, or very, like, whatever it is.
I'm
it
pretty
is
sure
what
he's
it's
touched that.
But, and I have, like, all the emotions growing up with mostly female energy and having a lot more, like, I guess, like, attention or empathy. Yeah.
Okay.
Which he
Gotcha.
didn't really get or has a hard time expressing that.
Why is that?
What, empathy?
No, just you, like,
Why are
expressing.
you a wall?
Why are you alone?
Honestly, I don't think that I'm a wall.
A wall wouldn't know it's a wall.
I just think that I control my emotions differently than you do. So it makes it for you, it seems like I'm a wall, but for when I look at you, you look like a roller coaster. That makes sense, right?
Yeah, because a wall is stable, it's firm.
Right,
So
exactly.
a roller coaster got
It's
all
up
of
and
this.
down, yeah. So I'm looking at it as like, okay, like there's
Allow
only,
it for now. Allow it for now.
so there's
Topic
only
off camera.
well, there's only so much I can do with situations or things that happen that I can control. So there's no need for me to get either really upset or really sad, or I like to be happy. Like, I definitely like make room for happiness,
Yeah.
but for stuff that brings you down, I try not to like go too low because it's like stuff I can't control. So I just try to like look at like, okay, it could be so much worse.
Okay.
So like what it is like, it's here, it's not worse. So I'm just gonna, take that and like wait for time to pass, and like soon,
Gotcha.
it'll be past and I'll be happy again. If that
Gotcha.
makes
Okay.
sense, yeah.
Yeah, I got you. There was a time when I had my own epiphany, and it was when you build walls up to protect yourself from anger, heartache, and things of that nature, you're also blocking yourself from joy and happiness. So with me, there was my background is different as far as a man needs to be strong, proud. Black is already going to be difficult enough. You can't be going out there showing your weakness. But I'm a mama's boy at the same time. So there's always like a struggle of expressing myself because I like to be around my mother, and she's a woman, she's expressive. So I have that character trait, but then at the same time, in the back of my head, it's like, you gotta suck that up, cuz. Can't be walking out here all weak and stuff.
Right.
So it's just that actually translated into relationships. And so that's where a lot of I guess a portion of the demon comes from that I've referenced before. If you guys been watching, it comes from that because you can only control what you can, like you said. So and you shouldn't have any emotion towards it because you can't control it. It has nothing to do with you. Only thing I can control is my grade or what it is that I do. But if someone hits me in the car, what am I getting all upset for?
Right.
You hit me. That's out of my control. I'm not gonna get emotional about it.
Right.
But on the backside, it's like I want to get emotional because it's my car. I just got it.
All right.
How am I supposed to go to work? How am I supposed to do these things? So it's just a work in progress.
Did somebody hit your car or no?
Yeah, they happened like brand new. I had just got the Mazda CX-7. I was in Texas. Just got the car. Sitting there taking the it was a two-turn to the left. So I'm on the outside, the furthest one, gonna hit that last lane coming out of the left, and this the insider is supposed to take the second.
Mm-hmm.
No, it wouldn't take the first two. T-boned me, and I was just like, in that instant, it was all emotion. I'm road raging, trying to catch up.
Oh, they tried to act like they tried to leave?
They tried to do hit and run.
Yeah.
I was
Did you catch
hot. No, I didn't catch him.
Dang, I thought it was gonna
No, it went on for about like 2 miles or so, and then I was like, you know what? Why?
Mm-hmm.
You have insurance. It's a new car. Calm down. And so that's where my dad's mentality is. A man shouldn't act emotionally. He should react logically.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because you got to always make sure your emotions are in check. Especially because, your skin color, you start getting, and you're tall on top of that. So some people already feel minuscule because I'm already looking down at you.
Right.
So it's just like, and that's where I don't know. It's a constant battle. It's a seesaw. Yeah. What? Oh, okay. Any thoughts? You think you're kind of the same?
I would say similar, like stuff like in that situation, I would probably, well, actually, I have had somebody like hit me getting on the freeway, but I was just trying to get their license plate, like so I can report them. Like I wasn't trying to like catch them or anything. I was like, just need their license plates. Like I don't care, whatever you do, but you're gonna pay for hitting my car. But yeah, so I don't necessarily want to be mad at something like that. I would say I get frustrated and I either just have to either disconnect from the situation or now it's stuff like outside of what my control, like people outside of that I don't know, I just kind of just let it go.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you say disconnect. So our whole objective here is strengthening our relationship.
You sure? Because
Yes.
our relationship wasn't mentioned in your whole mama's boy and the car. But okay, go ahead, continue. You were saying?
So, as I was saying, I'm glad you expressed yourself.
Yeah.
But,
I was waiting for the right moment.
That was not the right moment.
It was.
It was not at all.
Yeah, it was.
So you said disconnect from the situation. Back to what I was saying, because you make me lose my thought. It's about it is about the relationship and strengthening that. So because of that being your reaction, do you feel that there's ever a time where he just disconnects?
Yeah.
I'm gonna answer that one.
It used to be when we were trying to figure out how to not deal, I guess, but how to
Navigate
be together and coexist, I guess. It was a lot. But as we've kind of learned, for him, he kind of just needs space. So once he gets to a certain level, I know okay, just need to leave him alone. But for me, to a certain point, I'm okay, I'll leave you alone, but you better talk to me, or else I start making up all these stories in my head, and then I get to a higher level or whatever.
Because you're emotional.
Yeah, and because I'm
looking at you
right.
Man.
So he'll calm down, and then I'll be
coming down, he's going up.
But I'm watching my watch. He could be cool for a while, but yeah.
And what is it that you guys do to connect and get back on the same wavelength?
For me, it's time. It just kind of but for her, the time is
you have 24
itchy
hours.
at her.
And we are going to have a problem. I totally understand that.
Yeah. So it's usually depending on what it is, or what we have to talk about, because there are sometimes if we don't have anything to talk about, or if there's nothing pertinent that we need to say to each other, I can go for a long time.
Forever.
But I always think a long term, okay, this is gonna be, maybe a day or two, But then after that, like, it's but like if you're looking long term, like I know days aren't promised, but just looking at the future is like, okay, this is gonna blow by, like it'll be back to normal again, you know. So I don't need to like necessarily force something, especially if I'm still like feeling a certain way about it, you know. Or whenever we talk about it, if we try to talk about it, and if I'm not ready yet, or if she's not ready yet, or I'm not giving her the answer that she wants because I'm not ready yet. Yeah. So it just makes us both need it again.
So what triggers the normality though? Is it I miss giving you a pat on the back, and it just, or what is it? Give me a hug, or stop it, and then you guys get back on the same page. Sorry.
He usually does pretty good with like just like small gestures, like hands. And I'm like, okay, but it takes a couple of those for me to like have a normal face, but and revolves around like you said, like things that are pertinent, like so like we need to do, you know, like we have to like talk to each other about something, and then it kind of breaks the ice. Or food, always food. You want me to stop and get you something? I'll allow it.
And that typically would break the ice, and you guys talk about it, or are you just back on the same page?
No, we usually, well, kind of depends on what it is, but we usually have like a conversation about it. But
okay, cool. Well, speaking of conversations, what about the kids? Because I hear them in the background having their own conversation.
Right, when they should be asleep.
It's to be dreaming.
As far as they're concerned, it's not like you guys are going to get up and go tell them anything because we're here. So.
Right. You want to pause the podcast.
Oh, no, we won't cut it.
What are you talking about? We get up all of the time. Excuse us, kids.
Continue on.
This is part of real life. Sometimes you have to go let them know it is bedtime now. Come back.
Yeah.
It's fine.
But we won't have this issue when we film with the dance, though.
Right. Yeah.
Their time has not yet come. But it is.
And rough.
Like I said, it's many, many times. Do you feel like you ever disconnect?
Sometimes. If I'm just like,
what's that for?
What is the cause
of the disconnect?
Yeah.
Usually when I'm just like over it, like I'm trying to like say my side of it, but it's not getting through, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. And that's usually when I disconnect.
Gotcha.
And then it takes a while to like get back to normal. Like he could be back to normal once he has his time, but for me, I feel like hold on to it longer. So it takes more time.
So for you,
kindred spirit right here.
Yeah. So for you, is it like an instant disconnect when he says Leviosa, not Leviosa?
Harry Potter.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know that.
Not Leviosa. Leviosa.
His favorite part of all of the movies.
Favorite part. That is my favorite part.
That really Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You thought we made it up?
Yeah.
No. But yeah, so back to what you were saying.
I forgot.
Like you disconnect, but what is it that causes like your disconnect? Is it because he didn't fold the socks right, or you done stubbed your toe on one of his boots?
The seventh time you've fallen into the commode.
Stuck in the toilet seat. Help me!
It's happened.
Look before you sit.
I would say it would more like emotional, when I feel like I'm not being met like where I need to emotionally, because I like require more emotions. And or I have more emotions which then require more emotions. Then I'm just kind of like, okay, I've said it, it's whatever, and then disconnect in that way. That's like what makes me disconnect.
So when you're angry, you're expecting him to be humorous?
No. Humorous? No.
Understanding.
More like empathetic, yeah.
Okay.
In some sense, which he's gotten better at, but it's progress. Or a work in progress.
Yes. it's 11 years in the making now? Doing pretty good.
Yeah, we know each other.
Awesome.
Going on 9 years of being
Married.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha. That makes sense. So back to the kids and the parenting. And this is your topic. Because you're the only one that ever read the article.
I don't understand. Like, you sent the article
You get
to
to
all of us.
Lead us.
So the article was talking about 7 of the biggest mistakes that parents tend to make, or parenting mistakes. First, did you guys have the same type of ideas of as far as how parenting was gonna happen? I mean, obviously before they came. But was that a conversation that had to be had?
Or was it, here's a kid.
What are we gonna do?
it was like mutual. I feel like we didn't really have a lot of like differences. Like we've talked about like how she was raised and how I was raised, and like we just kind of like blended it all, you know. So
I think it's worked out pretty well, and we've kind of fallen into like our roles. But like the hot topic that usually is with us is like, I feel like the kids don't listen to me. I could say it 17 times, and on the 17th time, I'm like up to here. He says it like one time, like, put on your shoe. Okay, I'm like,
I told you, universal mom phrases. Don't make me say your name again. Every time, works every time.
the thing is, like, the kids, they don't listen to me either. Like,
in my mind, they do, or at least it's faster than with me. But he usually says like it's due to like the way that we interact with them, whereas I'm more emotional and more like empathetic or like nurturing, and he's kind of more like what?
I'm more like direct, and
He talks to them like adults. Talks to them like adults, pretty much like little mini adults.
Yeah, we're good. Okay.
yeah.
So, but we can kind of tag team, and I'll be like, bro, they're not listening to me. Can you take over from here?
Hear it.
And even now, like, they're still in there. Like, I still hear them.
Right.
Quieter, so in their head it works.
Right.
But with me, it would be, can you give me a kiss? Can you give me a hug? Can you give
Right.
me some water? Can you give With them, they're like, okay. Then he leaves, they're like,
Gotcha. So you said how you guys were raised, or you guys raised in similar fashion when it came to parenting, your parents making sure you guys were in the line that they needed you to be in, when you guys, because you said it was, easy to come together, so.
No, we're different spectrums. So
very
So,
different.
right, yeah.
What is the difference?
So like her mom is over here, my parents are over here. Like
Okay, well, what entails over here with your parents?
So my parents are like, we're independent, we're doing our own thing, like let's just say sports and stuff like that. Like, oh, you have a game today. Okay, let me know how it goes. Yeah, her mom's like, oh, you have a game today. Oh, what time should I bring the treats? Like, what are we doing after?
You want orange slices?
Right,
or apple
exactly.
slices?
Yeah. So, and it's kind of like that with everything. Like, so it might be too because I had a big family. Kind of, it was 5 of us. So we kind of we were kind of like my brother. Like I was saying, like he would watch us. Like he started watching us probably he was 9 and I was like 5, and then it was 9.
Oh, your older brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
9, 5, 3, and 2. So you can watch, 3 kids at 9, so
Practically.
yeah.
Right there.
So it was kind of like we were kind of just more we just did our own thing. Our parents were there to pretty much discipline us.
I was like, did discipline happen? Because I mean, at that point, it's like,
You
you
are
do
doing your own
you.
thing.
We're over here.
Oh right, yeah,
So,
definitely
did
happened. So that too is different. Whoopings. I don't think have you had a whooping before?
one time, not from my mom though.
Oh.
What?
Okay.
How does that work?
Other
It
family
doesn't count
members?
since we've been married. That
Oh.
was
And it had to come up at some point in time. I'm surprised it wasn't you. normally Floyd out. I was waiting for it. But congratulations, Evan.
3 times over.
No, but yeah, we got whoopings a lot, so like that was our discipline. But she rarely got whoopings.
Okay.
So what kind of discipline might maybe have happened?
We got grounded.
Okay.
We got things like taken away.
Got your allowance taken away, stuff like that.
Like, at some point, like phones or like different privileges to be able to go out and play or whatever we liked. Pretty much, just
Right.
can't go do that.
Have that. Okay. We good?
Yeah. Well, that was a hard life then, you know. No phones.
But yeah, I grew up in a single parent household, so my mom worked a lot, which I don't know how she did, but we had my grandma who was like another support and other family, but it's different when like, you know, my mom's a sole provider, also the disciplinary, also, you know, everything. So it was different.
Okay. So did since no whoopings to whoopings, so did the whoopings work for you as a kid?
I won't say yes and I won't say no. Because I don't know what it would be like if I didn't have whoopings, like if they would discipline me differently, like how I would have came, you know, like how I would have been, I don't know, different. So I don't know. That's a good question.
So after getting a whooping, were you like, that's fine, I can do it again next time, it wasn't that bad? Or were you like, ooh, gotta think twice about these decisions I'm making?
It depends on what it is, because a lot of the stuff would be like spur of the moment, you know, like you just in a grocery store, you just do something dumb, like, or you just say something like without even thinking, and it's like, okay.
You want to talk about your breath, huh?
Right, exactly that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Or just like fighting with over a toy with one of them, like my siblings, you know. So it's like spur of the moment. So it's not necessarily I was repeat offenders, you know, like random stuff. So
got you. So as that translates to you having kids, like how do you do that? What's your mind frame around how you were, you know, the corporal punishment, if you will?
So for me, I like to, before I even get to that point, like to let them know, like, okay, talk to them first, like, okay, you go to bed. Go to bed. If you don't go to bed, these are the consequences. Then if it keeps going, like, okay, if you don't do this, then you're gonna get a whooping. You know, so I like to tell them before they get a whooping. And most of the time, like, it rarely gets to that point, you know. But if I have to tell them, like, they're gonna get a whooping and they do it again, it's like I have to stick to my word, because if not, then they're gonna like think that they can get away with it.
Fall by the way.
So I don't use the whooping card a lot.
Yeah.
Just because I don't want it to like get worn out. So I would probably say you can count how many whoopings they had on like probably one hand. Probably all three of them probably on one hand. I mean on both hands.
Okay.
You said one, but two. Hold on.
Okay, that's not bad.
And it's not like no crazy whoopings where you get a switch or a belt. It's just like more like a
that's
spanking.
old school.
Oh.
Yeah,
Old school.
So it's like you get a
You
spanking.
gonna bring me a twig? Oh, you gonna get it now?
Right. So nothing crazy. Just like more like a spanking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I would say for me, it was more of a repeat offender, and it got to the point where it did get weared out. Like it was just like whatever.
Right.
I'm gonna do whatever I want to do.
Right.
Because you're only gonna be able to swing for so many times.
Right.
At this point, I know how many I can take before it's like, okay, it's starting to hurt.
Right.
So, yeah, I think I've told you guys before. Me and my brothers, our motto was whoopings make me stronger.
Oh, so y'all would get whooped.
Like I said,
Faithfully.
Oh.
Faithfully. up until I left for college.
Up until you left for college, you were getting
Right.
whoopings in high
We're
school?
gonna
Yeah.
take this. It's fine.
Like literally, like get on your knees and
No, I wasn't get on. No.
were you getting punched at that time? Or
Now I probably got a few times.
uh-huh.
A few times then. Sometimes right out the shower.
Mm-hmm.
It might have been a pan
Mm-hmm.
thrown at your face or,
Oh.
or basketball. So
Uh-huh.
But yeah.
So yeah, I think I got my last whooping in like sixth or seventh grade.
Oh yeah, I kept going.
So-
I kept going until I couldn't anymore. So that's why my thought process is completely different with the kids. Because I know that's my mentality. Oh, it just this made me stronger. I got stronger legs. I can take more hits when I'm playing basketball. This stupid ideology.
right.
And I don't know if it's passed down to them.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know with my son, his mom just kept going in. And I was just like, I'm telling you now, it's not going to work.
Right. Uh-huh.
Because it's just like, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. And he was 3 or something.
Oh, right, yeah.
The
Mm-hmm.
moment you stop doing that and you start using a level of emotion and disappointment, he'll get on the right track.
Right.
And the
Mm-hmm.
moment she did that, it was good.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I just with me, I try to stay far away from it as I possibly
Right.
can.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be like the last, same like you, the
Right.
last card.
Right, yeah. I don't want them to be able to get used to it. So it has to be at the point where they know, like, okay, like they've done something extremely bad or they keep doing the same thing. So it's not like, I don't want to whoop you. I gave you this many chances. Like,
Right.
you leave me no choice.
It hurts me.
Right,
More
yeah.
than it hurts you.
I used to hate that.
And I never understood it.
Right, yeah.
Like,
Uh-huh.
I'm the one with the whelps.
Right, yeah.
You just sitting there and just went back to drinking your juice,
Right,
and eating
uh-huh.
your food. I don't see no tears.
Right, uh-huh.
I had both.
Mm-hmm.
I got whoopings and I got grounded and I had stuff taken away. Like I had all of
Everything.
Yeah, I used to have to do book reports. Like I got any kind of thing you could think
Book
of.
reports.
Yeah.
So you get in
So,
trouble, you got to go read a book. And
Yeah, and then do a book report and like write it out and then give an oral presentation. Yeah, like I had to read a book, write like an actual book report, which was never read,
Mm-hmm.
and then I had to give an oral presentation about what I read. Like, yeah, I got whooped,
That's worse than
grounded,
whooping.
I got everything.
Right.
So
much.
Right.
Right, just give me the one.
I gotta read, I gotta remember, then I gotta write about it,
Right.
then I gotta tell you about it.
Right.
It's too
see, I
much.
actually liked writing,
I'm
so
sleepy.
that part wasn't. Yeah, it was actually the reading because it would be like textbooks. I remember like this one book my grandma kept having me go to was like a book on reptiles. It's like I don't care about the reptiles. Like, why? But like, and it would put me to sleep, and you better not go to sleep.
I'd have been knocked out.
Right.
Listen to your body.
Right.
Right?
Straight listening.
I mean, like I said, I got whoopings. I never had such a. That doesn't make any sense. It does not make you stronger. It causes pain. I don't understand.
I have
No
high
pain, no
tolerance
gain.
for pain now.
Yeah. No pain, no gain.
Anyways.
Make me stronger.
But yeah, so I mean, like, I would get whooped, and it was like, okay. Like, it would put in my mind, like, okay. If I do this, I know I'll probably get a whooping if I get caught. Is it really, like, I would literally be thinking, is it really worth
Right.
it?
Pros and cons.
Yes. All in my head, like,
How
Always.
old were you? When was your last
Always.
whooping?
yes,
How old were you? When was your last whooping?
I couldn't even tell you.
Actually,
To be honest, if you ask my grandma to this day, she could still give me a whooping. So
oh, really? Oh.
technically, I'm
Still
not
out of the
I'm
clear.
not
Right.
out of that phase yet. So, actually, was it last year or 2 years ago? I think she was getting up, gearing to give my uncle a whooping. He's 30. yeah, so
Oh, grown up.
yeah, so I've got at least another 30 more years.
Oh, wow.
I'm in the clear. No, with the kids, I mean, I would do the talking thing, but I'm not afraid of the belt and all of the things. And now I would even do, you know, the taking away. Because I mean, at first, like when they're little, it's like, you know, oh, you can't have your toy. It's like, oh, I'm going to have a tantrum. Oh, but now I'll amuse myself because I'm an only child and I'm used to this. But it's like, I have my imaginary friends. We're cool. So.
I'm put your imaginary friend in
right
out too,
exactly. And I know, like Ray had Royalty had a timeout chair and like all those things. So I've done all of that, and with all three combined, it's, you know, I'm gonna talk. Okay, I'm getting tired of talking to you, and then the same thing. Look, this is what's happening. If it continues, this is where we're gonna end up, and it's going to be your fault. I can't tell you how many times I've said, if this happens, it's on you. Because you decided not to listen. And they'll look at me like, but you're going to do it. Yes, I'm going to do it. But it's on you. It's your fault. You have no right to cry because you decided this is what you wanted.
One of my lines is like, why are you crying? You earned it. You worked hard for this.
Well, that's hard.
No, it's not. It's
it hurt.
But she'll tell you like I don't even whoop. It's just I just stand there and you just.
Oh right.
I'm like, you earned it. What you sitting there crying for?
That's with one of the three. That happens with one of the three.
One of the three.
One of the three, you can stand there and be like, da, 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 and then it's like instant breakdown. My whole life is terrible.
Prince is like that too.
Ah!
With me, he is. Yeah.
Sometimes it depends. Like you actually have to do your whole dad voice.
That's all I have to do.
No, but you have to do your dad voice and like be standing over him. Otherwise, it's kind of like you're upset. I understand this.
Can we like him?
Right? I keep
go with that.
It's like, you know. So like, but when you're standing, yeah, then he'll do it. The other one just, and then. Yeah, the other one is like, I won't do it again.
Will it happen again?
Yeah, yeah, it will. Absolutely. It's just like this is what you want to hear. I won't do it again. Like fingers, everything is crossed. I won't do it again. And then it happens like 10 minutes later. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I
have short-term memory though, so. Yeah.
Right.
And they can't control, I mean, I don't know what age it is where they can actually control their, what do you call that? Their impulse.
Right.
Yeah, so they can't control it. So always have that in mind too. I forgot where I read that at.
No, we did like some, when our oldest was little, someone told me that when she was like 1.5, I'm like, I tell her, stop taking the toys out. And she just looks at me, takes the toy out, and then, so.
Refer to the article.
The impulse control.
Right, yeah.
It's hard to.
Takes maturity.
It does. Takes maturity. And that's the value of a parent. You're teaching them, you know, as much as you can, self-independence, and that automatically matures their mind to have further understanding. Because without it, you out there buck wild.
Right.
The article was 7 biggest parenting mistakes that destroy kids' confidence and self-esteem, and it was what is it?
And we'll drop the link in there, so you don't have to do all that.
Okay, excellent. Amy Morin. So, letting them escape responsibility. So it's actually okay for them to have chores around the house because it gives them a sense of accomplishment rather than they just mess it up and then you clean it up, which also can translate into their adult life with certain situations.
Yeah, having the expectation of things other people are supposed to take care of those things.
Yeah.
Right?
That's where
Be entitled child.
Yeah, that's where that's where I was coming from with cleanliness and neatness of us being married. Of like, okay, especially having kids, like we don't want our kids to like pick up those habits because if they do, when they get older, we're mad at them. Like, look at your room, like you know, like or why is it still here? You know, right? But that's all they seen for the last 13, 14 years, so they're teenagers, and they're like, what are you talking about? Your room is always like that. Like, so,
then you want to discipline, but then
right,
you're like,
exactly. Like,
wait,
what can I?
yeah.
you got me.
Right.
You got me.
That's how I started making up my bed.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would get on Ray about making up her bed, and she's like,
Yeah, man,
hello. But she didn't know, like, I would actually make my bed up before I would go to sleep.
Mhm.
For whatever reason, I don't like to get into an unmade bed, but I won't make it up in the morning.
Mhm.
It's like I make it up, and then I get in. But
Mhm.
she wouldn't see that because she was already asleep. So she's like, you don't ever make up your bed, and I have to. So,
But making up your bed is like a huge thing, like for your psyche, like because if you make up your bed and then when you come home and your bed is made up, like the bed is such a big part of the room. It gives you a sense of you have things under control.
Yeah, it's just a security.
Mm-hmm.
Get up under the covers and, you know.
It does, yeah. I used to like find articles and stuff and like try to send them like.
Yeah.
here, some light reading.
Yeah.
Like gas.
That was the worst thing you could have ever said.
What?
That gas makes your partner live longer. Oh, gosh.
Proven fact.
I'm gonna be 1,000.
It wakes up the respiratory system.
Right?
Flowing real good.
You take deep breaths because you're gasping. Preventing them from making mistakes. So,
That's pretty simple.
yeah, the idea of rescuing them all the time, they won't be able to navigate hard.
Which is what Adam talked about.
Yeah.
Like we're having this conversation, trying to get you not to do it, to listen, and then ultimately, all right,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to help you correct it,
Mhm.
since you don't want to correct it on your own.
I think a big part of that too is like admitting when you make a mistake as a parent, like because there's so many times where I'll like get upset and I'll be like, dang, why did I get upset over that? You know? And then I like try to make a point to like be like, I shouldn't have like snapped at you about that,
Yeah.
so that they can see like that it's okay to make mistakes.
Yeah.
But you know,
Just
say
recently
sorry
had to
or fix it.
apologize.
Yeah, because parents are not perfect, and it's good that they see that there are imperfections.
Yeah.
Like they don't just look at you as, you know, as parents and be like, oh, they're perfect in every aspect. I'm trying to live up to that. And then all of a sudden something tragic happens. Like with me, my parents get divorced. What?
Right.
And it just shakes the entire foundation after all those years that you were, you know, raised up under. So that is very, very good. Yeah, because you had to do that. Which is why communication is key.
I had to do what?
You said you had to
Apologize.
apologize.
Oh, yeah.
Because you told Prince not to do something, and then I said to go ahead and do it, and then you come back and went in.
No.
Yes.
Let's restate that correctly.
We're just shortening it up.
No, we're at the house. He is nowhere in sight. I say, don't do. He comes in. Yeah, go ahead. Out of nowhere. Doesn't know the situation of anything that's happening. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead and play
hear
on
it.
the piano. There's nothing wrong with it.
I told you. We had a conversation. No.
Oh, you and Prince.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, and then this one, I told him it was okay. I already told him it wasn't.
I didn't know that.
Well, you didn't tell me. You just got here. What am I supposed to just display the entire day to you so you're up to speed? You just walked in the door.
Wait, did he ask you when you say as soon as you came in? He said, "Can I play the piano?"
No, I've been in the house for a minute, and then the girls went off to go do something, and I just said, "Yeah, you can go ahead and play," because he was just standing there looking.
Because he knew what he was supposed to do.
It's like he was itching.
So as soon as you say, "Yeah, you can go play," he was like,
"Yeah." I'm like, "You can go ahead and go play because they're over here, but when they come back, they're gonna go back to playing, like and play right."
Right.
And he was doing fine.
He was.
And she just comes in.
"Y'all got a piano?"
We have a keyboard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And she just
Yeah,
comes in there.
because he
I'm
does
like,
it, and
what
like
are you
it's
doing?
older. You know, the keys can get stuck. I'm not trying to pay for no maintenance.
Oh.
So that he was standing there because he already knew he wasn't supposed to, and then you gave him. But yeah, so I went in as he says. So afterwards, I apologized to him. Like, I am sorry for doing that. I did not know that your dad told you could.
Did he get that?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
said thank
You
you.
like still gonna play or?
No,
Right.
I told him, I'm like,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
still not supposed supposed to play with it. You can watch the girls because they are in there making their own concert. But I was like, and like Yvonne has had piano lessons before too. So I was like, you can watch the girls, but I don't want you to play with it. So he was cool with that. But
how is he supposed to learn if all he's doing is watching?
that is a great deal at his age. How you treat the keyboard, not like this. So that's important.
Smack them.
Right, yeah, that's all.
And actually, when I walked in, that was his motion. Froze, like, oh, I'm
He saw you.
Yes. So that's what I said.
See my muscle?
So, did I say this one?
But yeah, but typically, I guess we talked about it. The best response in that situation is, who told you you can play with that? And I think that will prevent going off.
Or why aren't you? Because we actually didn't talk about that.
What?
That was something that you and I both had to just let go. We did not have a conversation. I apologized to him. You continue to do what you were doing.
I did say
went back in the kitchen.
all I said was communication.
Yeah, but your communication was, I need to tell you what was going on so that you knew. No, sir, our day has been going on all day long. I'm not going to stop whatever I was doing in the kitchen to catch you up because you just got in. Come check in with me because I'm in the kitchen. I'm pretty sure I was making dinner.
Yeah, you were. But
so, do you want burnt food?
no, but it's not just communication with me. It's just communication with the kids too.
What do you mean? He knew what he was supposed to not do because he was standing there looking at it like, I wish I could touch that. And then you told him to go ahead. He knew.
Bamboozled you.
He knew it was okay because I told him.
Again, we need to check in with each other before other things.
But then we can also check in with the kids. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Who told you you could play with that? Daddy. All right.
Or
but
why aren't you playing?
Then it's like, all right, then come here. Didn't I tell you not to? Oh, she told you not to?
Of course. Which is actually what we
then
have
you
to
know you're not supposed to do that. Why did she tell you not to? All right, then.
That
then,
tells me what happens with the girls because they're on this trip right now. Like, oh, well, he said no, so let's check with. No, it's the same answer. He said no, I say no. I just don't have to say it.
Unless it's the piano.
Right.
It's okay to be on 2 different pages.
But yeah, so I mean, I get it. Protecting them from their emotions. So I find this one so interesting because it makes me think of Princess.
Princess?
Yvonne. That's her nickname. So I'm trying to make it a habit to use their nicknames on the podcast. Otherwise, everything
because it's a sense of empowerment. So that way you have a title and that title has expectations, but then also on receiving, this is how someone should treat you. So that's why everyone has a nickname.
Princess, royalty, prince.
Yeah.
So, did I say it right this time?
Yeah.
What, royalty?
Yes.
How
He
you
got
say it?
royalty.
Royalty?
Exactly.
That's what I heard the first time. I'm like,
That's how you.
That's
Come here.
Say it one more time. In your desert way.
It's royalty.
No, royalty.
That's what I said.
Royalty. Royalty, come here.
Anyway, protecting them from their emotions is what we're talking about right now. Gosh. Cheese and crackers.
Yeah.
How would
So-
you even spell royalty? Are you
Royal-
With an R.
But yeah, this one is like a challenge that I have like with myself, as I said, is like fighting emotions back. But then also it's okay to express them, but not to let them like control the entire situation. Because Yvonne, she gets a paper cut and it's just
I was not making.
there's also like
And it's
vocals
true.
with that.
Right.
It's not just
I can't hit that
there
out
are
there.
vocals. Like, think of the scariest horror movie you've ever, and you know the one girl who just like she lets out the scream, and you know someone is dead.
Right.
That is her. Whether it's a paper cut,
Paper cuts.
she
man, they are
sneezed
no
too
joke.
hard and got like whatever. It's always that. If there's a bug on the other side of the room, it's all the same.
Yeah, it's just
all the same.
like Jason is coming. The bug is right there. Like
Studying her.
So you want her not to be that emotional about it?
Yeah, because she's on like octave 10. Like, and you're letting it control you at that point.
Right.
The bug is this small.
I think that probably has something to do with parenting too. I would say a little bit of nature as well. You know, like kind of with what you're born with, but also with parenting and how much you enable them or how you react to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and that's the challenge with me, because with her in particular, I wasn't, I guess, present because I was in college. So I was there for like the first 2 years of her life, and after that it was like 3-year gap. So when she turns 5 is when I'm really like there 24/7. So that period in which she's with my dad, my mom, grandparents, I don't know what happened then that brought this to life. So it's just like now it's a challenge. She's 9 now, and it's still there.
Yeah.
She's the princess, and she was treated accordingly. She was coddled.
Oh, because she's the first grandbaby.
She's the first grand. She's a girl. She's the princess. She was coddled, and it has fostered that.
Right.
So, like, royalty. The next one, the other girl, the second girl. No, she's the first great grand. So she too, like, there was a lot of extra for her, but the mentality of the whole family dynamic is different to where it's like, are you okay? Okay, go. Like, everyone has that mentality.
Everyone
has that mentality. It doesn't matter how old you are. Now, like, obviously, if you hit your head, it's like, you're like, let me look at, what are you crying for? You're fine.
Right.
Like, you know, like, you have worry, but you don't let them see it.
Right.
So, like, it's different. So her reactions are different than Princess. And like I said, that part is the environment. That's the growing up part. What was parenting.
Right.
So
yeah, it's a fine line between letting them know that it's okay to like have emotions and like you said, like letting it take over your entire life. It's hard to figure out.
We do a lot of deep breathing. Okay, just let go.
Yeah, especially with the car accident. She just allowed all of that to just linger. Like now at this point, you're just making sure it's there,
right?
So you can still feel this way, have this. It's just like
good, and every now and then it's like.
And it's literally a whole week of crying.
Don't do that.
Like literally a whole week.
Yeah, that's tough.
Crying and random screams.
Yeah.
That was the part that, like, I can get the moans and the cries, but like randomly just.
So how do you guys react to that?
With irritation.
Oh.
Because I don't know what else to do.
So do you like?
Well, at some point,
talk to her? Like
no, I spoke to her.
I talked to her.
No, I didn't talk to her. I yelled.
Yeah,
you don't talk to her.
And
there was one point where because all of them, not me, all of them, they were and not Achilles really.
He was a G.
The girls.
Ray was a G.
But they were all hurting. It's just she was the most expressive. And after a point in time, like when you're hurting and it's like, I know you're hurting too. However, I just need to be a little quiet. And can you go? And then it's like if you send her to another room, she gets louder. It's like, no.
So
make sure you can hear me, right? I'm still here. So he got really.
So back to what I was saying to answer your question. I was yelling because I got at that point. I was fighting back the emotion because it's the car accident.
Right.
So I'm like, Yvonne, and I'm saying, that's exactly what I said. Yvonne, you're hurting, right? Yes. All right. Ray's hurting. Look at her. Does she look like she's hurting? No. But she is hurting.
Oh, yeah.
I'm hurting.
Mm-hmm.
I have a broken rib right
Mhm.
now. And it hurts to breathe. Do you see me crying, yelling, screaming? No. I'm like, okay. Do you not think that I want to cry too? Because I do want to cry. Because my job is to make sure you guys are provided for and that you guys are protected. Did I do that day? Did I? And she, no. I'm like, okay. I want to cry because you guys may not even be, you guys probably wouldn't even be here. Like there's a possibility you guys are not on this earth anymore. I want to cry, but I cannot. Because I got to make sure you guys are okay. And I have to keep pushing forward. I can't allow it to consume and control me. You need to stop. No.
Didn't work.
Okay, that was a good time too. I'm like,
you would just like, I'm fine. No.
And
It just
so
didn't.
what happened was, because trying to calm her down, make sure she's like, cut it out. My back hurts too. It's called back tightness. You need to stretch. Like what?
It was, yeah.
Wait, did y'all laugh?
No, it was literally like irritated. Like stop.
At points, I did have to hold in my laugh because it was to the point where it was just like, one, I was working nights and then coming home to all of them.
Right.
So I was like sleep deprived. I don't know if I was a little delusional, but it was like,
Oh, for sure.
I was like, are you done now? Like I'm trying not to laugh. I'll be back. I'll be back. So it was like pretty much it ended up being to the point where it's like it seemed like, I'm not gonna say what it was because I don't know, I'm not her, but it seemed like as long as she didn't have to do anything, she could, as long as she was able to do what she wanted to do, she was fine. But the minute it was
moment
like,
she got on the phone with her Gigi, laying
laying on her stomach, kicking her,
kicking her feet. What is
like,
happening right now? And I got so mad, like, go over there. And I know that's terrible because it's enabling her. And all of that. I'm like, get out my house.
Yeah,
I can't take it anymore. And so once she got better, then we crashed because we're trying to be so strong, make sure they're all taken care of. And I tried my best. She did most of the work, but I tried my best, and then it's just sickness and and then all of a sudden we just broke down. And then I really felt the pain.
They all healed. Well, the girls healed, and Yvonne was no longer having her, whatever you call those. And then they got sick, and then everything that he was keeping himself from feeling, he felt like. I think there was like a couple of days where he couldn't even get out of bed. So I had to call in, like, he's not coming to work today.
Oh, you had to call in for him?
Yeah, I was like, he's not moving right now. No. So, like, he felt that. And then, of course, like, so he's immobile because finally he's, like, letting himself feel everything. It's like everything at once, like, just, Then they get sick.
No, they were sick doing that. Because I had to give them the medicine.
Yeah, but I'm saying, no.
Yes.
No, you were giving, trust me, I know what medicine was. You were giving ibuprofen for pain. This cold medicine happened after they were better.
Because I was still like this, giving them the medicine.
Yeah, because they were healed and then you felt everything. They got sick while you were feeling everything, and I still had to go to work. So you got to take over sometime.
Next one.
And then, and then after that, he got sick. I got sick.
Because we're not even on number 6 yet.
So the next one is condemning,
so quietly.
condoning a victim mentality. which ties into
Well,
what we were
that's
saying.
tied into it.
Goes into what we were saying, condoning a victim mentality.
But they're saying like we can't afford new shoes like other kids because we come from a poor background.
Yeah.
Reinforces your child that most life circumstances are out of their control.
But you were saying she has a choice to either let that pain consume her and dictate how she's going to react, or she could have chosen, okay, it hurts, but I'm still here and I can still move. Let me do those things.
Yeah, so that's coming from the parents' point. Like, you can't just fall victim to, oh, we're poor, I can't get you. No, you're the parent, you're supposed to provide. Get out there and work hard. Make it happen.
I'm sick, so what is it? Those commercials? I need a day off.
But now we walking out, right?
Walking, like when?
Can't be going to school with their toes out in their shoes. Like, come on now, do better. Being overprotective. Now, I have a problem with that.
Really?
I think I can protect them from any and everything. And the moment I don't, I take that hard. Yeah, I take that pretty hard.
Overprotective?
Overprotective? No.
That would be me who's the overprotective one.
Yeah. Expecting perfection. Oh, that's me.
Actually, I think that's both of us. I'm a little bit more understanding, I think. I think.
You want perfection?
Yes. I know you know. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Like, cut it out.
Like I said, I think I'm more understanding. I think I'm more down to earth with that one. It's like, okay, I know there are limitations. You obviously can't do this right now, but I expect a whole month.
Right.
We're gonna get that together.
It kind of depends on what it is. Because I would just say it depends on what it is, just because like they're still kids and with their mindset and knowing like what they need to do at this time, like they can't necessarily compute that as an adult can.
Right.
So I have a lot of room for
improvement.
For improvement. So like I don't really expect them to really understand like how if I would expect for something like Jordan to understand.
Right.
You know?
And then just so that there's a little bit more understanding, their two oldest are younger than our two oldest. So like Royalty and Princess are they're both older than their two.
Yeah, ours are 7, 5, and 3.
Yeah, 9, 8, 4.
Yeah. So.
But with me with expecting perfection, I don't. For me, there's like no excuse. Like 2 + 2 is 4. You don't need to go over this tomorrow or the next 2 seconds. And when it comes to that, like Yvonne, she's in the 3rd grade, but I have her preparing for the 4th grade while she's in the 3rd grade. So when you get there, there should never be, oh, I need help with this. No, you got it. Because you put it in the work. So I expect the results to follow the work that you put in.
Yeah.
So I don't have any. No, I did the same thing with Ray. No, you don't. Your brain works. You know how to do it. Take your time, figure it out.
Yeah, I probably would.
And then it's just, you don't need fingers. You have a mind. Use your mind.
The fingers or the count with?
Yeah, the count. I'm like, no, you got your mind. They don't need to.
Right, I could use my fingers.
I am not the person. Okay, so it's I might add extra numbers.
Break it down. You got this. 7 + 5. What is it? You don't need to do that. You don't need to do it. What's 7 + 3? No, stop it. 10. All right, 10 + 2. All right, 12. 7 + 5
my
is
brain
12.
would never be like, oh,
break
let's
it down,
just do
make
this.
it simple. And that's something that I taught Yvonne. So Yvonne's tries to teach Ray, but Ray, she
ain't learned that yet.
She's not
Tries
hearing
to
it.
teach.
Yeah, when they be doing the math homework, she be like, all you have to do
Are
is
they one
add
grade
the
apart?
3. Yeah, 1 grade apart. Add the 3, and then you all you have is 2 left. And Ray is like, no, I don't see that. You did plus and minus when it was just 7 + 5. Why would you do that?
Exactly. That's how, not everybody is a teacher.
Yeah. So it's
Well, hey, that is the truth. That goes for young and old. Not everybody is a teacher.
yeah. So it's I still require perfection. It's just like when she does her gymnastics, you gotta practice perfect for you to be perfect. So
Yeah, but that's physical activity. Ray is all about.
and it's
No problems there.
and it's attainable at any level, no matter what it is that you're doing. You can be perfect at what it is that you do. So
In a way, kind of.
yeah, because everyone, like how everyone does a crossover is different. The way Kobe did a crossover is completely different than Allen Iverson, but it's still effective. So everyone's perfection is different, but you can't be perfect at what you do.
You be as good as you can be.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can be.
Yeah. Because Doughboy, the way he lose weight versus the way, like, you know, like.
Yeah, it's two different things.
Right.
It's completely different and all of that stuff. So yeah.
Last one.
You have to throw it out there. Punishing rather than disciplining. So,
Let's read that.
the difference between the two is more of a punishing versus disciplining. I said the same thing twice. Why they
Punishing leads
cut
them
that
to
part out. But pretty much punishing the child is making them feel like they're a terrible person, they're a bad being. And I think that's all in the form of communication, as you brought up earlier. And how you present that will dictate how they feel about themselves and their self-esteem. So more in the sense of, like you were, no more getting paid for doing a chore or whatever the discipline was. As compared to, see, this is why your daddies ain't ever home. Stuff like that. And it's just like, oh, I'm like my dad who's never around. Then it's like you done mess with the whole entire psyche. So yeah.
Would have been nice if you finished and put discipline in what they said.
Then
Discipline.
we try to shorten it up because this is a long
So
video.
I think like you're saying discipline is saying
I made a bad choice rather than
choice
I'm a
and
bad
you're a
person. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it is in there. It is in there.
It's helpful.
Yeah. I just think, with the kids and even with the princess situation, they're only this age one time, so it's gonna be hard to figure out what actually works, because as she's growing, she's changing at the same time too. So it may not have worked right at that moment, but who knows, the talk that you gave her the next time or 2 years later, if that resonates with her and she may be completely different.
Yeah.
So it's just
It might not all be in vain.
right, exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Gotcha.
Probably most of it.
I'd say
But
she
there might
seems to
be some
exhibit, she seems to have been passed down his memory.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if it would resonate because I don't think she'd remember. I don't think.
Passions, too many aspersions at this point, okay? Too many aspersions are being casted.
Just like your dad.
See, you already messing with it already.
No, because I never told her that.
Just like when you called me useless.
I never called you useless.
Yes, you did.
I thought it and you said it. I can't help that you have a connection with me. That's not my fault.
Oh, the way you set that up. So she gonna get it later. Then she said she won't remember. I was like,
Well, it's like I said,
I took too many hits to the head. Okay?
right,
too many pots,
Too
too
many-
many pads
Too many
today.
pants, too many pots, too many of my head hitting the basketball, head hitting the floor because I jumped high. I did too many head hits.
well, I know,
Are
but
you hitting the floor because you jumped high?
Yeah, a lot of people like to undercut me.
Oh, I was like, but you're
Yeah.
up. You might hit the floor.
And sometimes my takeoff is it's probably just under the free throw line. So if you're undercutting me, I'm not going to reach the rim to save myself from falling.
Yeah.
And then when you have all the traffic coming in, you're trying to avoid and all of this.
oh, I just fall.
Yeah.
Why
So it just never worked out for me.
But no, I was gonna say she's heard you. Oh, I don't remember. Oh, I don't remember. Oh, I don't remember. So.
And I'm undersized. I was always undersized. Like a
I'm
cinnamon.
just gonna throw.
I'm gonna go
Pass
back to
over
it.
that.
Yeah.
Pass over that.
So I'm, fast forward. So I'm undersized. So when I'm playing against people that were bigger than me and weighed like twice my weight and probably a little bit taller, when they swing for that elbow, it might clock me in the jaw or in the nose or right on top of the head, and I have to stand firm with it and keep playing and keep pushing forward. So
Get that CTE check.
yeah, probably a lot of hits.
Yeah. I have nothing else to say.
Okay, good. Well, yeah. So we covered everything: relationship, the hot topic. Do we have a hot topic we wanna?
Well, since you brought it up.
Go ahead.
No, I'm kidding. I
The
mean,
memory. Skipped over that one.
just because you don't like to hear something doesn't mean you can just bypass it. It's not nice. I listen to everything you say.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay.
When did that happen?
Right now.
What?
When I
When we
said
skipped? The
he
memory?
skipped. Yeah, when I was talking about so I got too many hits. He just pretended like I didn't even speak right then.
He probably didn't remember.
Either that or I'm speaking in your sleep.
Hey, I can't help you with that.
Did you even hear what I said? Huh?
Apparently, we've had like 2 full-on conversations. He's like, "Remember, I told you." No, you didn't. You
I
probably
told
thought
you to go
told
to my
me.
grandparents' house and pick it up, and you said yes.
It's like you thought you
What?
told me, but you didn't tell me that.
You sure? You sure your memory just? You just thought your memory told you? No, you
No,
actually.
we were
I
talking
actually
last
told
night.
you, and you said okay, and you looked at me, and then went to sleep.
Oh,
Sir,
your body, you gotta listen to your body.
I am a nurse. I am fully functional even when I am asleep. Okay, that doesn't mean I'm going to remember it.
You're not functional then.
Yeah.
If you don't remember.
I'm completely able to carry out all of the tasks. Functional.
Just not the next day. So you forgot to.
That
So
would
you have a
be
memory
fine.
problem as well.
No, I was asleep. There's a complete difference. Any other time.
Accompanying sleep deprivation.
Well, before this turns into 2 full long hours, like
I
we're
know.
watching the Avengers movie, we're going to go ahead and end the
Good
hot
movie.
seat topic. We want to appreciate the Rosses for allowing us to come into their home, experience the kid noise in the background, because this is life, blending everything together.
It's nice to know it's not just us.
Yes, it is very nice to know. And for you guys being a part of our lives, has been very influential.
There we go.
And when we all began this, I was like, who? What?
You're like, who is it full of
we need to start paying him money. We didn't even meet him yet. Like,
Right.
so,
We're going on a cruise with the person
Right.
I'm paying him. I don't know
That
if
was
he
very
knows
true.
that.
Carl was like, yeah, he's my really good friend, and they should come too. Okay.
And then
Alrighty.
the
Burrito
trust
thing
was
happened.
there, yeah.
Yeah, And
You put it on
then
your card without knowing us.
Right.
exactly.
And we sent you the money.
But
Like, I hope we don't end up going
Right,
to
like, this
Fire
is really
Festival.
Fire Frog 2.0.
Right.
But no, I knew it was real when we had that whole burrito conversation. I was like, these people are the truth. Dude, where's my remote? Keep losing it. I'm like, all right, this is going to work. This is going to be some good
We got an
stuff.
episode with us all in our shirts on the podcast.
Oh, yeah, it's
Wearing each
coming.
shirt. Yeah.
It's coming.
No.
It's coming.
No?
No, I
What
will
was your
not.
shirt?
It's not fair.
Yeah, that episode is coming like after. Well, now that you guys know, it's coming after we introduced everyone.
Yeah.
Nice.
We had a
Everyone's
big
an
old
individual.
conversation about
Quality.
About our first year together.
exactly how did it come to be, how did it come to pass, how the CCs keep coming up.
Cheese and crackers.
Yeah, so yeah, all of those good things. But yeah, I just want to thank you guys. You guys are, the truth. Y'all some dope people. God has been good to us by allowing us to, cross paths. And well, we didn't cross paths. We met at the intersection and kept going in the same
Right.
direction.
Just went together.
So God, it works in wonderful ways. That way.
Mysterious ways.
Not to mention desert. rural areas.
Oh, true.
Harry Potter.
Yeah.
That's when I exited.
That's what I
That's right.
Bring it right back because we forgot about something. So tell them where they can find you guys because you guys got a YouTube as well.
We do, but it has. We haven't done it for a while. We need to get back on it,
The
but
kids actually asked for it.
they be watching themselves. You see them and they're like, "Look at me!"
Right.
Like, okay.
Ah.
Our YouTube is the Ross Cam, so you can get a flashback of our lives.
So that way when you flash forward, you know where you came from.
Right.
The Ross Cam, ROSS, and then Instagram is the Ross Cam with an underscore after Cam, and Adam has a fitness Instagram-ish. Also,
What was that?
There's been nothing posted.
you posted a couple weeks ago.
Oh, actually, I did. But I think I
That was
only
the
made 2 posts in 2019. Oh, actually, 1 post in 2019.
So what is it?
You didn't put up the cruise up there?
Nope.
Oh,
Was it
okay.
fitness related?
Oh, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
We were doing the running and everything.
the running?
Oh,
Oh,
we
I
were
was-
exercise.
I exercise still, yeah, but I don't really post anything. But
Oh, gotcha.
it's Coach Adam Fitness. Yeah.
Coach Adam Fitness
Yes.
on Instagram.
Yeah, I think on Instagram and just Instagram.
Yeah, just
Twitter, I don't know. Facebook is just Adam Ross.
Alrighty. So we will put everything in there for you guys so you guys can join in and leave comments on the old videos telling them to come back.
Yes.
Because
We
you
get
want
We
enough.
got one
We
comment.
want more.
We get enough interest.
Yeah, we need at least 10.
Yes,
I
get
can
10
figure
more
that out.
subscribers and they will be back on and live. But with us, you can always find us on the Facebook, on the Instagram, and on the YouTube. And it's always going to be consistently living with the QFlow on all social media outlets. Yes.
And our email address is lifewithqflow@gmail.com. Again, that is life with Q, the letter, flow, FLO, @gmail.com.
And you know the other thing that flows pretty good?
Like John Wayne.
Besides my name, God. God is extremely dope. And we wanted to, exemplify that today with our little shirts, little matching sheets. So yeah,
Why didn't we get one of those?
you guys gotta support God is Dope by ordering online.
Yeah.
Why didn't y'all
So-
order us one and bring it?
Because God is Dope needs to sponsor us.
There we
So
go.
we can do things like that and
So we have people
give
on.
people discount codes and everything. But until that time, we're just going to drop the link and make sure you guys get some merch because God is dope. He is powerful and all you need is just God. And everything will be all right. So thank you for joining the Hot Seat. We're about to float on out of
I
here.
feel like we need to say amen.
Yeah.